Garrett, and this is my PowerPoint on the parameters of normal vocal quality. This first slide is just giving a depiction of each of the 6 parameters that Zemlin presents as a quick summary. So the first one is maximum frequency range, and what this is the minimum to maximum pitch that your voice can go, so the range that your voice speaks in. So what I did to measure this was I measured my voice on a sustained ah vowel, and I started on a very low note, which was a C sharp, and I went up actually 3 octaves to a C sharp. And I transferred that from the hertz numbers on here and found that those numbers transferred into 3 octaves and they fall within normal limits. Here is a little sound clip. It gets kind of loud. Okay, here's the second parameter. This is the average rate of vocal fold vibration, or the fundamental frequency. So what I did is I spoke in a connected speech sample, and I chose Hickory Dickory Dock, which is a nursery rhyme, and I wanted to see the average pitch that my voice lays at. You can see the blue lines on here, and it was 203 hertz. So I actually fell within normal limits according to Zemlin and Clausen. Here's a little sample. Hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 1, the mouse ran down. Hickory. The next parameter is the maximum phonation time. So this is essentially seeing how long you can hold your breath on a sustained vowel. So I chose the ah vowel, and mine ended up being 26 seconds, which is a little bit outside of the range of normal limits, because normal limits are between 5 to 15 seconds according to Zemlin and Clausen. Okay, the next one is the minimum to maximum amplitude. So what I did was I took my Hickory Dickory Dock passage and I measured my minimum loudness and my maximum loudness essentially, and I wanted to see my dynamic range. So my minimum is 29 decibels and my maximum is 80 decibels, and so my variability was 51 decibels. So according to Zemlin and Clausen, I fall within normal limits. The next one is periodicity of vocal fold vibration. I used a sustained ah vowel to measure this, and basically this is measuring a jitter and a shimmer. A jitter is the average absolute difference between consecutive periods divided by the average period. So that's my percentage right there, 0.391. And then the next number of seconds is the jitter absolute, and that's the average absolute difference between consecutive periods. And so mine was 16 seconds. My shimmer was 3.9%, which is the average absolute difference between the amplitudes of consecutive periods divided by the average amplitude. And then it also gives the decibels that are included in there as well. And I ended up, my jitter was within normal limits, whereas my shimmer was outside of normal limits for the percentage, but within normal limits for the decibel. So I thought that was interesting. Okay, so the next one, this is actually the very last one. I did 2 different measurements for it. The first one is a sustained ah vowel, and my mean harmonics to noise ratio was 21 decibels. So Clausen indicates that the harmonics noise ratio is supposed to be louder than 20 decibels. That's within normal range. And so I fell within normal range just by 1 decibel. Okay, so I measured this again with a connected speech sample, and this one actually was 13, is really quiet, so I probably needed to re-record another sample and speak louder for this to fall within normal limits. Here are my references. I used quite a bit of references to make sure that I got everything in here. The main source that I used to record was a software called Pratt, and I converted all of my results on that as well.